If you're a small business owner, the odds are high that you'll eventually get sued. It just comes with the territory. And while it's impossible to predict every type of lawsuit a small business owner may face, there are some lawsuits that we business attorneys see more often than not. This will be a three-part series talking about the top 5 most commonly filed lawsuits against small business owners and how to avoid them. Let's get started. Make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm attorney Alexis Johnson of AFJ Law Group PLLC. Business owners have a ton of things to worry about, and one of them is always avoiding litigation. That's why we created this three-part series to talk about the top 5 most commonly filed lawsuits against small business owners. Now, nothing is foolproof, and you definitely want to work with your local business attorney to make sure that you're doing everything that you can to keep your business out of the courtroom. But let's get into the top 5 that we see most often and dive a little bit deeper into the first 2 in this video. Lawsuits against small businesses are hardly rare, but some occur more frequently than others. These are the 5 most common lawsuits that we see in the courtroom: discrimination against workers, discrimination against customers, wage loss, torts, and breach of contract disputes. Part 1 of this series will address the first 2 most commonly filed lawsuits: discrimination against workers and discrimination against customers. For the first category, many lawsuits are filed against small businesses based on allegations of discrimination, harassment, retaliation, or wrongful termination. Most workers are protected from these acts by federal and state anti-discrimination laws. The reason that small businesses are more susceptible to these types of claims is because they often lack the resources of having a dedicated HR professional or department to make sure that they're complying with the local laws and protecting themselves. Small business owners can protect themselves from these types of suits by understanding some basic concepts. Harassment and retaliation are types of discrimination. Federal law defines harassment as unwelcome conduct based on race, color, religion, sex, national origin, age, disability, or genetic information. But it's important to note there are more specific laws with more protected classes depending on the size of your company and Michigan law. In a harassment claim, it's usually an employee making a claim against a manager or a coworker, where the claim is that the harassment was initially reported to the employer and the employer failed to stop it. Retaliation means the firing, demotion, harassment, or other similar act committed by an employer to punish an employee who filed a discrimination complaint or lawsuit. The worker then sues, alleging that whatever action took place was in retaliation for the discrimination complaint. A wrongful termination claim alleges that an employee was fired in violation of the law. Many wrongful termination claims against employers are based on allegations of discrimination. Moving to the second most commonly filed lawsuit, discrimination against customers or anyone that isn't an employee. This means that lawsuits can be filed by customers, suppliers, patients, vendors, and any other individual who has a connection to the business. Small businesses are more susceptible to these types of lawsuits, largely due to a lack of resources. But that doesn't mean that you can't protect your business. Take steps to ensure that your company is complying with federal and state laws by working with your HR professional if you have one and consulting a business or employment attorney. It's also helpful to review your insurance coverage, as claims alleging discrimination by employees or non-employees may be insured under an employment practices liability policy, so you want to make sure that you have the right type of coverage for your business. Finally, if COVID has shown us anything, it's that the law can change overnight. No one is expecting you to be a lawyer. However, you should pay attention to the guidelines issued with the new laws and make a good faith and reasonable effort to comply. As always, you should reach out to a professional if you have questions or need more clarification. Next week, we'll continue the series discussing wage loss claims. But if you have questions in the meantime, please reach out. My team is ready to help. We can be reached at afjlawgroup.com. Please also like and subscribe to this YouTube channel so that you can continue to receive informative legal videos like this one. Thank you.